the channel. My name is Kevin.
I'm Tarsha.
This is Conversations with the Crawlies, and on this channel we do conversations about faith, family, relationships, and we do recaps, reviews, and commentaries on our favorite shows. This one is all about Lindy and Miguel of Married at First Sight, season 15 in San Diego. So you've been here a few times before, right?
And you haven't become a member?
You haven't subscribed?
You haven't
and you've
shared?
watched this far and you haven't hit like?
Come on, y'all.
Listen.
Let's do the thing.
YouTube's algorithm needs help.
It needs you.
We need help. Just go ahead and hit that like. It don't cost you nothing.
Nothing at all.
And hit the comments. Type the comments. Even if you do, I'm not going to be mean, but even if you do just gibberish comments, no.
No gibberish comments.
I was about to say something about somebody that we know. All right, but anyway, we'll just go ahead and jump into it. All right, so.
Just say how much you enjoy the show.
Yes, all that fun stuff. All right, so Lindy and Miguel.
Lindy and Miguel. It is their week to act a fool.
Plum fool. So
what in the world happened?
This is the week where everybody goes away together as like the couples getaway. So they're going to do prom night because Lindy grew up in a sheltered home and her school didn't have, well, it was sheltered, right?
Well, but the scene that comes on is like there's this gift for her.
Yes, okay. You give the extra detail. Go ahead.
And she's like, oh my God, who's the gift for? It's for you. What? For me? Instead of letting her open it, then he starts to explain about the prom.
Yes.
And thought it would be nice. And he's like, oh my God, all for me. And he got the dress that she saw when they went to the costume shop or
yes.
To a vintage shop.
Yes.
And so he purchased that for her and thought this would be a great idea. So she's overly excited, you know, because she never had a prom. And it's kind of going to be like, you know, a big thing for her.
Mm-hmm.
And so as they're packing multiple items for a weekend
yes.
out the door, we're like, oh, that's cool. They're going to have a little theme because it happens every season
mm-hmm.
when they, you know, just kind of rekindle. They get to spend time with the
right. It's getting closer. They've got 2 weeks left, I think, in the process.
Mm-hmm.
So,
mm-hmm.
yeah.
So they were on their way, and we thought, like, okay, so far we don't know where the drama's going to come from.
And then it shows up. So we don't actually see, because they're mic'd up, mm-hmm. we don't actually see what's happening. Mm-hmm. But we hear where Lindy is asking Miguel to take pictures mm-hmm. of her. She's like, oh, was it the sunset or something?
Mm-hmm, because it was hitting her dress.
Right.
A certain way.
And Miguel, from what we could gather, Miguel is like tired. He's like, I done drove 18 hours.
No, she drove.
Oh, did she?
Uh-huh.
I sat in the back. I sat in the passenger seat 18 hours. So he laying down half asleep is what we kind of get or gather, right?
Because he comes like, she's like, what you doing? And he's like, I'm just kind of laying here. I'm trying to relax. Just kind of like low key.
Right.
I was like, okay.
And then she starts to get a little escalated, a little irritated mm-hmm. because I guess he was doing something with the camera where it looked like he was taking selfies, but she was getting irritated, right? Mm-hmm. And then he was like, basically, are you mad? No, I'm not mad. I was just joking. Mm-hmm. And so then he's like, no, don't play. Don't gaslight me. Mm-hmm. You were mad. Mm-hmm. Say you were mad. Mm-hmm. And then we can deal with that. So...
because he's like, you ain't gonna be getting no tone with me.
Yeah.
And I don't know, and this is another thing.
What's the other thing?
Has someone in his family spoken to him harsh? Because I'm like, it's the tone. I'm like, it's not. It was just like. The tone wasn't that bad. It wasn't bad.
Yeah, it was.
If you say so.
It was bad.
Trust me, I'm from a different type of family.
Yeah.
There's different type of tones, and so again, depending on I guess how you're raised, that's the point I'm just getting.
Let's just say this, how you want to be talked to.
So. And
he evidently was like, no, don't talk to me that way. And I think. My thing with it was, yes, she had a tone, she had an attitude with it, she was getting irritated with him, but then to again say, I was just joking when you obviously weren't.
Well, she thought he was because, again, you hear her say, stop taking selfies.
Right. But her tone was not, I was just joking. Her tone had nothing to do with joking. Now, she can say that she thought he was joking, but her tone that she was presenting was not joking. So for her to say, I wasn't upset, I was just joking, it's a lie.
I can only go, she said it. I'm going off of what she said.
I'll just say, okay, I won't say it's a lie. There's an incongruency. It don't match. Her tone don't match joking. Now, maybe in Lindy world, that's how her family joke. Not in my family. I don't think your family jokes with that tone.
Again, I don't have a problem with the tone because in my family, there's a different type of tones.
Yes, there is.
And because
yes,
and because
there is.
And because he's taking selfies and she's saying that because we can't see.
Right.
Because we can hear a lot of different things. Right. But we can't see what their body language is. Mm-hmm. And to me, that's a big deal. If she could see that, and instead of him straight up not doing anything and saying, mm-hmm. babe, I don't feel like doing that right now. I'm tired. But he wasn't. He was obviously, from what she said, taking selfies or pretending to take a selfie. So she thinks he's playing.
Okay.
So.
Okay.
But as we get beyond this,
they go to
prom. She's like, again, I'm not taking this overly serious. What happened? Mm-hmm. He's still hot about the situation.
He is, yeah.
And so they're trying to move on. And I'm assuming in a sense he's trying to move on, but he can't.
Right. Wrong timing. It was just bad timing on his part, right?
Mm-hmm.
If the goal was to have the prom to help her, something she's never had, what have you, let her enjoy it. Y'all can have the conversation later on off camera. You had that initial blow up off camera. Have this other conversation off camera.
Because he does come off moody.
Yeah.
Even from the time after they got into it.
I will agree with that.
He was irritated.
Yep.
And so as they're continuing the conversation, nothing changes. Mm-hmm. Nothing changes.
No.
Her approach is still the same. Mm-hmm. And she's like, I'm trying to understand where you're coming from.
Right. So then later that night, I guess after the prom is over, they're not on great place, mm-hmm. but they're at least it's kind of squashed, right?
For now.
So Stasha and Nate are like, hey, we want to share our toys with you.
Right. Because they're laying in bed trying to discuss this.
And then it's a knock knock.
Right.
Hey, you want to come swinging?
Right.
So, and that was, I'm glad they pulled it out the box. So I'm assuming there was a brand new swing for Lindy and Miguel. At least I hope so.
Looks washable.
I'm sorry. No.
I'm just joking.
No. No, your tone wasn't joking, Tarsha. Your tone was not joking.
That sounds like a personal problem.
But yeah, hopefully it was brand new.
For you to even think that they would, okay, so you just automatically assume they're just going to bring what they have.
I'm just, that's my hope.
Wow.
Tarsha, people do some stupid stuff sometimes.
I'm always going to assume the best of people.
I will that's too, why, but I'm just saying.
So since you're going to say somebody's going to bring something, I was like, oh yeah, they washed it first. So if we're going to make assumption.
Brought a new one. That's just my thing. So then the next day they go horse and carriage riding, mm-hmm. right? And he's trying to, first of all, he's trying to do his rap / poetry. I don't know what it is about this season. You got two people that have no skill rapping trying to rap. You had what's his name, Mitch, try and do it a couple episodes ago, and now you got Miguel doing it. It was like at least I think it rhymed a little.
It was a poem. He never said it was a rap.
No, he said it was going to be put to a beat.
Oh, he said it's going to be put to a beat.
Yeah.
He said he had a poem put to a beat.
Which is kind of what rap is anyway, right? Let's just.
But he didn't come out forth to say it was a rap.
I think he might have. He might.
I heard the word poem.
Well, let's put it like this. That didn't need to be put to a beat. And he didn't need to say it like he was trying to rap it. So if he wasn't trying to rap it, do a rap, he could have done it a lot differently as a poem.
Oh my God.
So, but he was sharing kind of what his feelings, what have you, in poetry format, rap format, whatever.
I felt like he was trying to he was trying to set the tone, like, okay, I'm gonna do the carriage, and then you get to hear my poem, and this is supposed to make you love me, and it's just gonna be so romantic.
And she is pointing out everything except his conversation.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I would have been extremely irritated.
Rabbit, squirrel.
It was.
I was like, oh, he's trying to share something right now, and you are not engaged.
And it was not editing, right? It wasn't like you hear him talking and then all of a sudden they cut. No, she literally is. He's talking mid-talk, and she's like, the horse over there, the rabbit over there.
Yeah. So she got ADD. She has attention to stuff.
She need medication.
So I was like, oh my gosh. And then he was like, okay. And then she's like, no, go on.
And then he does it. She does it again.
And so he tries to move on. So I'm going to ignore that.
Yep.
I'm going to try to move on. And then say another part. And she does it again.
Yep.
And then she started talking about it like he never said anything. And then she's like, oh, I'm sorry.
So they finally do sit down, and he, of course, he's at a point now. He's like, he's frustrated, he's irritated, which I get. I get where he's feeling at this moment, right?
What happened? Yeah, it makes sense that you'd be irritated.
And he's trying. He's like, I don't want to really say what I want to say right now, because if I say something right now, it's gonna be an issue. Right. She presses him a little. He's like, okay, and he tells her.
Well, remember, he tries to start a different conversation.
That's true.
Because he kind of says, I'm a little irritated, because he's not muting himself. He said, I'm kind of a little irritated about this. But then she brought something that also talks about what he's interested in, Dungeons and Dragons and stuff, right? And so, he's like, oh yeah, so let me talk about that. And when he starts talking, instead of her keeping her mouth closed and her face pointed to him, she starts laughing about the people
taking pictures
off cameras.
Yep.
Taking pictures.
Yep.
And that's it.
You're like, I tried.
That's it. I'm done with you.
I tried.
Let me tell you, every time I'm trying to talk to you, you are off on some different tangent, pointing out everything in the world, except everything. You're just pointing it out when I'm trying to engage in conversation with you.
And then she's like, well, what am I supposed to do? I see it and it's interesting. Am I supposed to just not pay attention to anything else? Yeah, Lindy, that's how you have conversations. That's how adults do things.
Well, you just know there's a neurological.
You're right.
You know what I'm saying? That you can see it. For some reason, she can't keep her attention focused long enough, so she loses track of what he's saying.
Okay.
And so it's just very obvious.
Okay. So
he's pointing it out like this is an issue. She can't even tell it's going on. And she's like, what? I didn't. Okay, well, I do. And he's like, me knowing, what about you knowing? Knowing enough to not do it. Knowing enough how to stop. But if you have this, if you know there's something there, you can't stop. It's just something you do naturally. And sometimes, if it's not diagnosed, then you don't. You would need to either try to get some type of medication or do something. Because unfortunately, we get older, but we still have the same habits.
Yeah. So Miguel needs to put her on his insurance now.
Put her on the health insurance.
Put her on the health insurance now, bro. Let her get tested and get whatever's needed for it.
Because it can be frustrating, right? Yeah. You I don't even see it coming. I didn't even know I wasn't paying attention.
Yeah.
Like, you're talking to me and I'm somewhere else. And then you come back around like, I did tell you that. Like, I don't remember you telling me anything. I don't remember that at all. And it can be frustrating on both sides.
Yeah, it can be. It surely can be.
So I get where they're coming from. I'm self-aware.
Yep.
And so, how do we work through this?
How do we work through this?
Look. We try to make some decisions that help us. I'm telling you guys, marriage is not easy. So I get he's upset.
Yes.
I guess she's frustrated because she can't recognize what's going on and she thinks it's about him. But yet a little bit is because he's irritated and agitated with her. And her not knowing to see it, because if I bet you if she saw this tape, she'd be like, "Wow, I would feel the same way you're feeling."
Yeah,
like wow.
I might have to go watch at the after party just to see if they even bring this up.
If she's there.
Yeah,
because sometimes you don't realize what you're doing,
right?
And you sometimes in the midst of it, someone bring it out in the midst of, I'm like, but I don't know how to stop it.
Yeah,
I don't know if it needs to be like. You need to say, this is very important. I need you to, whatever you're thinking about, I need to stop. Like, just be very specific. So
they get past that, right? They move past that. Or
well,
at least the
she
scene
cries.
moves on, right? She cries.
She's crying.
She's like, I'm tired of not feeling like I'm not enough for you, what have you, right?
And he apologized for making her cry. He's like, I'm on fumes here. I'm emotionally drained. I'm tired. I think even the production of it all, right? They're 6 weeks in, so I can see it could be a toll on him, right?
Right. So then now they are getting ready for the final dinner as far as what we see.
Right.
And they're up on like a balcony or what have you, and she is like, "Hey Miguel, never mind. Hey producer, can you take a picture of me?" And he's like, "Okay, wow."
Well, because he was like, "Hey, I can do it," and she's like, "No, so one of the producers.
Yeah,
can you do this for me?"
So for him, he's looking at that as like, okay, you didn't understand why the previous time wasn't a good one, but we're sitting here. There's nothing in the way right now of us doing that. Why would I not be able to do that for you? And she's like, well, I don't know, because maybe you just want to enjoy the sunset. Maybe your time now enjoying the sunset and me asking you would interfere with that.
That's a little petty. Because you
no, I wasn't a little petty. It was major petty. It was intentionally petty.
Because again, I don't understand. But you did attack me, right? So I don't understand what I did. I don't understand how to fix it. Mm-hmm. And so now I'm just trying to just stay out of your way. But I'm going to prove a point to you that I can get somebody else to do this.
Right.
You don't have to be the one.
I can get somebody else to put me on the insurance. You don't have to be the one.
You don't have to be the one. So here we go at it again. Okay, we're going to go round 10.
So she does her petty thing.
And the bell rings.
And so he's like, okay, I can match your petty. And I will bring another level of petty. You want to hug me? Nope, I'm not hugging you.
I'm not hugging you.
Okay.
So now you're rejecting me.
And the cameras was the cameraman and the producers was kind of like backing out slowly.
Like, we need to get out y'all way. Whatever this storm is that's over y'all guys, y'all gotta need to fix this. So they're going back and forth.
Back and forth. She's crying. He's finally apologizing after he realizes that my pettiness kind of broke her.
Right, because she was like, and ran to the room. At first he was like, I don't even care right now. You can cry all you want.
Right. Until
I
it
don't
was like,
care. Yeah. I got to sleep in that room. Like, I don't think there's any available rooms. We got to ride back together,
so I got to fix this a little.
I don't want to sleep on the couch and have to talk to everybody about why I'm on the couch.
Could you imagine having to sleep on the couch 6 weeks into marriage?
So he was like, let me go in here and let's see. Okay, I do realize I'm moody and irritated, period.
Yes.
I don't have the patience right now because I'm being true to myself.
Right.
And what mood I'm in. And you can't help me, but you're just adding You just put logs on the fire.
Fuel to the fire. Yep.
Put logs on the fire, girl. You know, and they try to like decipher where they are. They're trying to decipher this. But again, when you're in the midst of it, you can't decipher where you start and where you end.
Right.
You know there's a conflict. You know you did something wrong. Is it something that I need to change, or is it this person? Is it something I need to see someone about, or how can it something that I can do on my own? You have all these other questions just there, and you're at the end of the day, you know both of you are wrong. That's all you know.
Yeah.
We're both wrong.
So then the next day they're playing volley or dodgeball, right? Supposed to be more of a fun day, but they went ahead and broke up the teams where basically spouses were against each other on teams. And nothing major happened out of it except for them, right? Everybody else was just having a good time.
Right.
Everybody was enjoying it. It was cool. Right. Dodgeball, right? But then it got down to, I think it was him versus Nate.
Right.
And
but she was being very competitive.
Right.
She was still up there.
Right.
Her energy was still really high.
Yeah. So she was on the other team. So she was on Nate's team, right? So competitive, she was like, I want my team to win. So she's rooting for Nate. And he's like, oh, wow, I'm your husband. You're not going to root for me? She's like, we're on opposite teams. I'm competitive, da-da-da. Oh, wow. That's how you are as a wife?
I get what he's saying, though. Like, if we were on opposite teams, even though I'm like, all right, Nate. I'm like, all right, babe. I know you can get this, but I do want Nate to win. I would throw you just a couple of, you got it, Nate, kill him. You know, like, I would like at least two. Throw you two little good comments and then want my teammate to win.
But let me just say this. I would be okay with you not doing that, because I'm not, my relationship with you is not bound by a dodgeball game. But
y'all just had an issue that you still haven't resolved.
Right.
So you're smoothing it over.
I'm sorry.
So
he petty, and
they both petty.
They are both petty, but he petty over pettiness petty. He petty to the nth degree over a dodgeball. I want to keep saying volleyball, but a dodgeball game. The fact that
I'm saying they were in their feelings. It died down, but it didn't go away. So if she could have thrown a couple like, oh, baby, you're moving good, and then say, Nate, kill him, I think he would have been, hopefully he would have been okay.
No, he probably found some other reason.
Exactly. But that's what I'm getting at. He kept mentioning it was the tone, and sometimes I didn't even hear her tone go up. And he was like, oh my God, here it is. Is this her 10? Like, it was like he was trying to.
He is kind of looking for her 10.
He's trying to look for the 10.
He's like expecting it.
He's like, it's the 10 coming. Is she a 5.5 right now on the Richter scale? Like, I got my, like they do the noise meter to see how high it's gone. He keeps like, it's in the back of his head. Instead of him enjoying the relationship, I feel like there's a part on his side of sabotage. Now I feel like she might really need to go and see someone, because what she's coming with, it does seem innocent, but it's like, no, there's something wrong. Because 2 or 3 minutes in, you can't pay attention, and then you try to go back, and then you can't pay attention again, and it happens like over and over again.
Yeah.
I was like,
So, well, look, that's it for this couple.
That's kind of
at least this video for this couple.
Because didn't they just end at the table?
They pretty much ended the table, and she was bawling her eyes out again.
I can't believe you must be. And everybody's looking like, wow, you just like, throwing up all over the.
Just trying to play some dodgeball. Can we go back and play dodgeball?
I thought this was therapy.
Some picnic
Why
time.
are you not better by now? Why is this not better?
So make sure you check out the other videos on the other couples, and look for, pretty soon we will have a prediction video for this season. And if you're watching now, why haven't you subscribed?
Subscribe.
Why haven't you liked? Just
membership vibes.
All right. Have a good one. We'll see y'all next time. Have a great one. Be blessed.
Bye.